This is a timeline of leaks that I found to be actually true about Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers has been an overall interesting leak cycle. I don't think I've ever been a part of a Sonic game leak cycle that has had this many leaks. If we go back to Sonic Forces, we know there was the whole Sonic Wars leaks going on, but it wasn't anything compared to Frontiers. I feel like most of our information about Sonic Frontiers has come from leaks. Compared to previous Sonic games, we've gotten actual marketing material way before leaks started flying out like that. But now we're in the phase where we can look back at a lot of these leaks and see what was actually true. I think these kind of things are very important to find out for the future. Because in the future, the next Sonic game could have just as many leaks. And a lot of people laugh at leaks because they could just be fake stuff that people type up. But I think there can be a big difference between those and when something's true and when something isn't true. A lot of the things that have turned out to be true, people got really loud about. And we'll go over a lot of these leaks and things that came true from them. I don't believe everything in all of these leaks have become true, but most of them have. It's also worth noting when a lot of these playtesters leak stuff that got to play the game, stuff has changed. So everything may not line up one-to-one with how Frontiers is now. But a lot of it is stuff that was in the game beforehand. But before we hop into all of that, today's video is sponsored by myself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Sonic Frontiers and just overall Sonic discussions. So the first leak I want to talk about is actually kind of wild. It goes way back to 2019. That is now almost 3 years ago when this leak has happened. Specifically, it happened in November 2019. This leak was actually a 4chan post, and it started by saying, "You probably won't believe me, but I did an online survey on several ideas for video games. One is Super Mario Odyssey 2, and one new one is a new Sonic game set in the Starfall Islands. There are several other prototype names." And right off the bat, that is the name of the island in Sonic Frontiers. It is indeed Starfall Islands. And they even had screenshots of the survey. And it had descriptions such as Sonic Universe characters you love, 4 exotic islands to explore, skyscraper-sized Titan boss battles, adventure through vast terrains and explore the Starfall Islands, new close combat system and unique powerful moves to take down enemies, go supersonic mode to battle massive skyscraper-sized enemy titans, strengthen skills to level up Sonic's abilities, solve puzzles and embark on quests across 4 exotic islands, thrilling graphics, cinematic music and immersive atmosphere. And this describes Sonic Frontiers perfectly, 3 years before the game is even out. And of course, there were ideas for other Sonic games as well as Super Mario Odyssey 2. I won't be covering those though because they aren't really relevant to this video. But just know, they do exist if you're interested. Now the crazy part about this leak is how undiscovered it was for many years. It was literally sitting here the whole time. And the first person I saw to cover this leak goes by the YouTuber of JaydenXV. JaydenXV made a video and found a bunch of information including that leak, and that was kind of the first that many people have heard about it. And of course more people relayed that information, which caused it to spread more. But my favorite thing about these kinds of finds is that there's always something absurd right under the post calling it fake along with a slur or something insane. It's always very ironic. But again, the obvious takeaway from this leak being true are the Titan battles, and this was actually recently described by a Game Informer employee who thinks that is the complete end goal of the islands, is getting all the Chaos Emeralds and doing a giant Titan battle, as that was described to be the main goal of the game. When it comes to more juicy leaks about the game that requires player input, we have the very first playtester leak. Now, this first playtester leak was actually found and discovered by most people after the second playtester leak. And there's a reason for that, and I'll get to it when we get to the second one. This leak dates back to August 2020. It comes from an anonymous leaker, and they go on to say, "It's not an adventure remake. I playtested it. They are working on something. But if they take the feedback from me and the other panelists gave them, Sega might change quite a bit from what I ended up playing. Screen cap this or just keep these in mind because here's the gist of what I played. Open world, set on a gloomy, grassy, uninhabited island dotted with ruins. Big Breath of the Wild influence. Little Korok-like puzzles scattered everywhere. Robot/alien bosses scattered throughout the islands. Defeat them and you get a Chaos Emerald. Get all Chaos Emeralds and you gain entrance to the final boss area. A foggy forest you couldn't enter before. No major characters appeared aside from Sonic. No story, just dumped in. Turn Super Sonic to fight the boss. He's a giant colossal-like entity that you climb, hit his weak points. Infinite Steam plays during this. These could all be changed because I played a couple months ago and there still hasn't been any reveal. So I assume they might be reworking a lot, but that's just what I played. Believe me or not, you'll know for sure when it gets revealed. I mean if it does. Obviously a decent bit is different about Frontiers, but at this point, this was still 2 years before we had any real information about the game, and it still lines up with what we have now, an open world, the robot/alien monsters, which are basically the enemies we've been seeing this whole time, which I can see why they describe them as a robot/alien, because some of them do look a little alien technology-ish. And again, another mention of the Titan battles with Super Sonic. This has been a reoccurring theme throughout all of these leaks, and we know this is going to be in the game. Another trend you'll see going forward throughout these leaks is the Korok things from Breath of the Wild is a thing that gets described constantly throughout these leaks, and we know that is indeed in the game. And once again, as 4chan users do, they insult the poster because they think it's fake and drop some slurs. 4chan never ceases to amaze me. The second leak is the one that tore everything apart. This leak was discovered in June by majority of people, but was posted in January of 2021. This leak had mentioned the name Sonic Rangers, and the way it got referenced back to is because when the reveal for Sonic Frontiers happened, the game initially had no name. It was just Sonic 2022. But people discovered in the metadata of the reveal trailer Rangers was the working title. And this referenced back to this leak that dropped the name Sonic Rangers. And Sonic Rangers is indeed the working title for Frontiers, or was. Even during Summer Game Fest demos, the demos were labeled as Sonic Rangers still. So a lot of that helped bring this leak to legitimacy. But this leak started out by saying, did a focus test for a new Sonic game called Sonic Rangers, which is an open world adventure game that takes heavy inspiration from Breath of the Wild, did 2 demos, a 20-minute long exploration of the open world, and a final boss battle. The open world is populated with small enemies, puzzles, and platforming challenges. That's a check for confirmed. Completing puzzles, challenges, enemies, rewards EXP, which can be redeemed in a skill tree. Skill tree is also confirmed. Skill tree unlocks abilities like the spin cycle, where you hold the Y button, Sonic starts tracing a line behind him. If you finish a circle, it attacks all enemies inside the circle. Now I'm going to stop the reading here and just say straight up, this is also another thing that made the leak seem very, very real at the time. Because we saw in the initial reveal trailer Sonic had a line behind him, and people related it to the spin cycle, which is now officially called the side loop. And the side loop is described perfectly here in this leak because Sonic does that exact thing. And we literally had no trailers, no information beforehand, and this was just a random leak at the time. But this is indeed 1000% true. And then the leak described basic things such as the homing attack returning, bosses being spread in the open world, which we know about. Defeating them grants you orbs. If you get enough orbs, you get to go to a portal and go to cyberspace. And this is where everyone first heard of cyberspace. This leak coined the term that is official in the game and brought the idea to us of cyberspace before Sega even announced the idea. This leak is over a year old, and the first time that Sega actually showed us cyberspace officially was at the end of June in 2022. Cyberspace levels are generation style and the music goes hard, and I believe them after hearing that music in the Nintendo Direct. Beating them fast grants Chaos Emeralds. Exploration and combat was super boring, very button mashy, but whatever. And obviously we know combat isn't exactly probably the same, and it seems like there's a lot more going on with it than beforehand, because we know there's different kinds of attacks now and there's not just a single button. And then of course they go on to describe similar things as the last leak with the giant boss battle with Super Sonic. And this is also where the Ghost Girl came from, a ghost girl who refills your rings. And the last leaker described it as a hologram girl. In the full game right now, we are not very clear on that, but we do know that there is an AI voice that guides Sonic, and we do hear the voice in one of the clips here.
Use the gear as you have done before.
But overall, I'd argue that this was probably the most important leak out of any leak so far in this. It gave us the general idea of what this game was going to be like. There's quite a bit of time in between the January leak and the leak we're going to talk about next, which is the Daki leaks. Daki is a creator on this platform. He makes Sonic content as well. And Daki actually helps with Tails' channel. Daki relayed a lot of interesting information that he got from an insider. The main takeaways from Daki's info is that he described that Chemical Plant and Green Hill clones would be coming back. And those are things that are now confirmed. We have already seen Green Hill, and IGN has talked about Chemical Plant. A lot of the Daki information just had a lot of the playtesters' thoughts on the game rather than a lot of new information. It also had some small details confirming idle animations returning. As we know, idle animations were not present in Sonic Forces. This leak also confirmed that the boost would be in fact returning, and you get boost energy from rings and not wisps, and there's 0 wisps. And that is true so far. There has been no wisps in this game, and I don't think they're gonna be there. And of course, the leaks also describe similar things as the last two with the cyberspace aesthetic and the digital dimension recreations, which is something that has been holding up so far. I still don't know what this is right here, but we'll see. I don't think all of the Daki information was accurate, but those are the main takeaways that just helped with the other two. Jumping ahead to 2022, this is where things I think get interesting a bit again. We have a random 4chan leak which has now been taken down. My only way to have screenshots of these is through the YouTuber Premi de Remy, who made a video on this leak, and I was able to grab the screenshots from him, because this leak has been taken down. Now I don't know if it's been taken down by the original poster or if it somehow got taken down by legal action. But this described a lot in terms of how the game plays as well. It described the 4 island situation as well as the cyberspace situation. It says although there aren't nearly as many, it's only 7 per island, 4 islands. So that'd be like 28 total. And they're all mandatory to do progress. They're accessed by collecting orbs from various challenges and then going really fast in the overworld. It's almost like time traveling in Sonic CD. Now recently, we know from a lot of the new information in June that there were about 7 cyberspace levels on the first island, Kronos Island. And of course, 7 cyberspace levels on 4 islands, that's 28 cyberspace levels. So this leak may have told us that there are 28 cyberspace levels before we even knew there were 7 on the island confirmed. And of course, I think they obviously changed how entering cyberspace works. I don't think you have to run really fast anymore. We know that you have to enter through the little throne portals to get to cyberspace. They also say once you have all the emeralds in an island, the game allows you to approach said island's titan. You turn into Supersonic, climb up like a tree, and then beat the out of him. They also talk about a new companion character that follows you throughout the game. She's basically a human-looking hologram thing. Don't know exactly what she is since I said her main purpose in gameplay is to refill your rings in the cyberspace and boss battles. Then we have a different leak from another anonymous poster, and this one actually leaks details about the story. It talks about the main villain Sage, which we know is the villain of the game. The story focuses around the old inhabitants of Starfall Islands and the ruins that roam around the area. Eggman found an AI named Sage and it managed to capture Sonic's friends. Sage is actually the Ghost Girl character, and she tricks Sonic into thinking she's helping him. Sonic's friends communicate with him through the AI Tails managed to hack. You save Amy, then Tails, then Knuckles. Sage betrays Eggman and you save him. She controls a really large titan and fights Sonic, who is at this point super. We discover the inhabitants of Starfall Islands were originally humans and animals coexisting. There was a huge devastating civil war which destroyed many parts, and then an earthquake right after which left the city in ruins. Sage's character design isn't sexualized. She's a cute chibi anime girl that fits in with the Sonic cast. The game also has a Chow Garden, which I forgot to mention. It's also as huge as the SA2 one. Shadow is playable in battle mode. There is a partner mechanic in the combat, although you can only control Sonic. The shop for the Chow Garden lets you buy an attire for Sonic and some other characters in battle mode. The puzzles do get harder as the game goes on, but they're not that difficult. And this was posted about a whole month before we even see the character Sage at all or know anything about this character. So far, all of that information about Sage is accurate, and by association, the other stuff could be true as well with the Chow Garden in the battle mode, and even playable Shadow. It's kind of weird that that information would be mixed in with true information. The character's name is Sage. She is a chibi character. Sonic Team did describe the story of Eggman searching for an AI. You do have to save Amy and Tails in the story, but we also know Knuckles is getting his own prologue. Most of this information is accurate information. Now the other stuff with the Chow Garden and Shadow, again, it's not confirmed, so by association it could happen, but those aren't confirmed. Mostly the information about Sage is though. A little bonus story we have here is with Zippo. Zippo is well known for leaking Nintendo and now Sonic stuff, and he leaked that almost all of the cyberspace levels will be reusing assets from Green Hill, and literally not long after, the Summer Game Fest demo went up for influencers and people who were able to attend. And what did we find out? Green Hill came back, as well as Sky Sanctuary, and they all were reusing Gen assets, at least they appeared to. Now, I don't know if it's confirmed that all of the levels will be Generations, but we do know Generations themes will be reused. And that is a lot of the leaked information that turned out to be true, or at least the important ones in my opinion. I'm sure there's some small leaks out there that repeat information that we already know from this, but these are the main ones I really think had an impact on giving us an idea about this game or leaking actual information that matters. Sonic Frontiers' leak cycle has been quite a ride, and I don't think it's going to be quite over yet. It all just depends on what happens with Sega's marketing. Maybe we can see this stuff before people even get a chance to leak it. Well, I hope all you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here, and if not, then make sure you just hit that like button to support and drop a comment and let me know what you think about how all of this went down. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, whatever happens.